Hello and welcome back to another Tarot Tuesday episode of the Heartful Canvas podcast. I'm so excited to be back here pulling a card for you and we'll talk about it. If this is your first time tuning in, I don't get super, nitty gritty with the tarot and what all the astrological signs mean and all that kind of stuff. Instead, I think of it more of like a creative journaling prompt where we take a look at the card and like just kind of see what it inspires for us and how it feels applicable. If you are watching the video version, I'm trying another video setup. So usually I use my computer, but last time I tried my phone and I really like the video quality better. I'm hoping the audio quality is better because I don't actually remember, or as good anyway. But last time I did portrait mode and that didn't work so well for YouTube, so now we're gonna try landscape mode. So wish us luck. Alrighty, so if you aren't familiar, the deck that I use is called the Lightseers Tarot deck. I just love the imagery and I think it's really pretty. So we will go ahead, spread out. Today here I'm recording, this is the day before the episode will release, and it's Monday instead of Tuesday, and it's very rainy today, very cloudy, wet, rainy, all the things. Okay, so let's see what we want to draw for today, for this episode. Ooh, I feel like this fits the mood of today. So this is Four of Swords. You have the video version. This is what it looks like. It looks like it's like a big, huge nest made out of twigs. And there's this person who's like curled up inside, almost curled up into a ball. She must have 4 swords. I see 3 swords. And they're like tied together with a red string. Oh, there's the 4th one. I see the 4th. If you're watching the video, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're tied together with this red string, which is also tied to this heart that is like been stitched up. It's like it was broken and now it's been stitched up. Kind of like patched. She has tattoos, colorful on one arm. The inside the other arm that we see is like there's probably a certain kind of name for it, but it's like a diamond, but then like the lines extend further on the top and the bottom. She has a red tank top on and then like teal pants that have some floral on it. Her colorful tattoos are floral as well. This is really interesting because it like gives this like look of kind of like resting and like feeling safe. It's like she's, I don't know, because she's curled up in this nest. Maybe it's kind of like I don't know, just kind of finding like a sense of calm and safety despite like the heartbreak, despite like maybe the battles and everything going on outside of the nest, but there's like this sense of safety and like restoration happening. That's what I'm kind of getting from this. Let's see what the book says. 4 of Swords. Nope. The wrong way apparently. Nope, I just can't find swords. There's swords. 4 of Swords. Okay. Yeah, it's a time of deep rest, transmutation of shadow, healing from burnout, taking a brief holiday from your reality, renewal, and self-love. It says this deep resting period in your life marks a moment of intentional healing and self-care. More than just integral to your wellness, it is integral to your being at this time. Body, mind, and spirit. How you heal is your choice, and you can find quiet regeneration through sleep or other restorative practices like meditation, journaling, energy healing, etc. Consciously decide to slow down and process before sprinting ahead. The hustle can be tumultuous and demanding, and the only person who can really direct your own radical recovery is you. Tend to your wounds, as you may be on the verge of burnout. Your nest will grow around you as you sleep, and the landscape of your life will shift beautifully as you fall into your own rejuvenating energy. In your dream state, you will transmute and transform your experiences and emerge renewed, whole, and ready to rise. But first, you must rest. Sweet dreams, sweet chickadee. And then, the affirmation is, I give myself permission to slow down and heal. Oh my goodness, I have so many different thoughts about this. First of all, so I don't forget, I really liked the way it said, like, your nest will grow around you while you sleep. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, building the nest. You don't have to, like, worry about getting everything all perfect to, have this, like, pause, this, like, time of restoration. I know for myself, like, it's really easy to be like, okay, I need to finish all this stuff. I need to do all this stuff. It needs to be all perfect and set in place, and, like, then I can rest. And that, like, never happens, right? So this is being, like the place of rest, like, you just rest, and the nest will, like, form around you. Your safety, like, it will form around you. You don't have to worry about having that all in place. I find that really beautiful. A few other thoughts. I feel like this feels really, I don't know, speaks to me personally. So I'll speak maybe more to that, and whatever resonates with you, resonates with you. I guess one thought is that if you think about the time of month, if you're somebody who has a cycle, a menstrual cycle, or even just like the hormones of the cyclical patterns, we have times of the month when our energy's a lot higher, and we have times of the month where energy's a lot lower. And, like, I'm entering the phase where the energy is a lot lower, and so that speaks to me. If you haven't ever, like, looked into your hormone cycle, whether you have a period, you are pregnant, you have gone through menopause, like, anything at all, if you are a woman, I highly recommend learning more about your cycle or the moon cycle, and, like, just understanding your energy patterns and the cycles that our bodies go through. It's so fascinating to me. I've had at least one episode here on the podcast. I'll link in the description with Renee Fieck. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Or Fieck maybe. Anyway, but she also has a book called Cycle Sync Your Business or something. But you don't have to have a business to understand it. It's a lot of talking about, like, the different components of each part of the cycle. So I'll link that book as well. At some point, I need to finish the book. I read most of the book back in August when we went on a trip. So I read it on the plane, and then I never finished it. And so I really want to do a podcast, like 4-part series about each part of the cycle. So that's a future thing. But anyway, that's a whole nother tangent. So that's a thing. Like, if you're in that part of your cycle where that rest is really important, that slowing down is really important. And then also, like, I definitely have been in this, like, busier period. I probably talked about it on my past episodes, but this time of year my energy is picking up, which I'll talk about a little bit more specifically here. But my birthday's actually this week. So I think that's kind of part of it. Is, like, this is just, like, the beginning of the year, but it's also, like, all of the spring energy. Like, this is, according to nature, this is, like, the beginning of the new year. So there's a lot of new energy coming, and like, I've had all these things that I'm wanting to do for my business, for all these things, but I'm already starting to feel a little overwhelmed, like, oh my goodness, I need to do all this stuff right now. And at the same time, I've been doing a lot of, like, running around and socializing with my toddler and his friends and my mom friends and all of that. We've been, like, basically out socializing just about every day, and I'm an extroverted introvert, so it's important that I have time with other people, but I also get a little exhausted from it. And so that's something that I've been feeling lately too. And so this is just kind of like that permission slip of like, it's okay to like just slow down a little bit. You don't have to be doing everything all the time. And maybe, you know, again, it's like a cycle thing where it's like, okay, for the next while, we can just rest a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so then I also wanted to talk about what I was saying about the spring being like the start of the year. This is really fascinating for me because this is like the spring, well, my birthday is the first day of spring, so that's Friday. So I'm pulling this card, well, I'm pulling it on Monday, but for Tuesday's episode. So we still have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that are part of the winter cycle, so winter season. And so to me, this is kind of just like a reminder of like, okay, don't jump the gun too much. Like, you're excited for spring, all of this stuff. But like, just take another pause, enjoy the winter season, just a few more days, you know, another week, whatever. Like, gather up that energy so that you're ready when it's time for spring season, when it's time for that growth and that creativity and all of the things that are coming with spring. It's also fascinating just because I'm recording this today. It's rainy. It's not so cold today, but the next 3-4 days it's going to be chilly. It's gonna be pretty cold for our standards here. And then Friday, the first day of spring, it's actually gonna get warmer again. And so like I feel like that also connects with this message of like, okay, let's just burrow in a little bit for our last days of winter. Don't try to like push the new season too much, and don't try to like force yourself into it yet. And I think this also could be like a gentle reminder of like, okay, yes, it's spring. Yes, there's a lot of like new energy that comes with that, but also like it doesn't have to be full force right away. Like you can lean into it gently, you can lean into it softly. You can like, I'm just like picturing like, you know, whether it's a seed that's like just starting to sprout, and it doesn't just like go straight to being this big huge flower of this big huge tree, but it's just like very quietly begins to put out down its roots and begins to sprout up and all of that, instead of just like, all right, I'm here. That kind of energy. Also like the animals, I guess I don't know that much about animals hibernating, but when they come out, I don't imagine that they're just like jumping up and down and like, you know, ready to go on a big long voyage. I imagine that they start collecting their food and, you know, gathering the strength and stuff like that. So it's a lot of sirens outside. Hope everybody's okay. Yeah, so those are the thoughts that I have. I'm really curious what this speaks to you about. There's also, you know, a lot in here about healing and self-care, so maybe that's something that speaks to you. A lot about burnout. I feel like that speaks to me specifically in, okay, I've been doing all this stuff and like all these ideas and like already kind of like pressuring myself like, oh, I should be doing this and this and this and this, and especially with my email list. Oh, I feel a lot of guilt around that right now. Anyway, but like being very cautious and careful that like we don't push that so far that then now we're going into burnout, because that is an easy thing to do. So yeah, that's this week, the Four of Swords. If you're watching the video, here is the card again, and I hope something resonates with you. Something, if you want to think more about this and like, okay, how does this apply to my life right now? How does this apply to like my circumstances and the situations around me? I definitely recommend like, you know, sit and think about it. Go ahead and take out a journal, write about it, pull out your phone and do a voice to text in your notes app, whatever resonates with you. But yeah, I hope it gave you something helpful to think about, and I will see you on the next one.